Well, good evening, everyone. And this evening, I'm joined by Nick Lissette, a founder, director, and chief executive officer of Blackpearl Group. And Blackpearl Group is a technology company that builds, acquires, and markets data-driven cloud services consisting of a suite of productivity and digital marketing applications for small to medium-sized businesses. Well, lovely to have you here with us, Nick.
Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be here.
So, Nick, with over a decade of experience working with cloud email providers, can you start off with a bit of background on yourself in the space and what's led you to set up Blackpearl Group?
I actually started my first company at 24. I've only really had one job out of university, which was selling commercial rubbish bins. The type the trucks pick up like that. So obviously I was too ugly and silly to get employed by anyone else. So I knew I had to start my own company. So I've been at it actually much over 10 years now, as the grey down the side will betray of me. So nearly 20 years. The first company I took over a telecom dealership for $1. And then I built it up from there and kind of into cloud email via that route.
We lost me there, but we're back again. Are you there, Nick? The magic of the internet. Yeah, magic of the internet. Look, the Blackpearl Group is a technology company that offers SaaS products and builds, acquires, and markets these data-driven services for small and medium-sized businesses. So some people are going to say, what does that mean for me? What does it mean for a small to medium-sized business? What is it you're selling?
Great question. So think about the challenge that a solopreneur or small to medium-sized business has in this world, and that is competing with big companies with big budgets and big money. And the difference between the haves and have-nots in businesses is in these days data. That's the fuel that technology runs on. And small to medium-sized companies, startups, they don't have the money or the people to be able to use data properly and gain access to it. So Blackpearl's purpose is we create really simple to use cloud services which are driven by data. And the whole purpose of it is someone that doesn't know anything about data, or doesn't even know that they need data, get benefit from it. So a great example of that is our hero product at the moment, which is Pearl Diver, and that actually uses a data identity network to show you people turning up to your website. So it's the sort of thing we do.
That's a very useful tool, particularly in a small business. I'm just going to have to ask you this black pearl thing. Where is it from? Because obviously some of us really love black pearls. So what is it all about?
Well, it's a good question. We've got many great stories with Blackpearl, but not one where the name came from. I think it's because I like colors and valuable objects and putting them together. So, could have been, like a golden watch or something, but it ended up being a black pearl, and it was a name that stuck. And then we're very fortunate over the years to be able to actually get the domain. So we've got blackpearl.com, which is a lucky purchase on our behalf.
Yeah, good idea. So the proprietary platform, the Pearl Engine. So what is it? How does it work? And how is it used?
So we've spent about $25 million developing the technology over the years. So a lot invested into it. And the whole idea of creating a platform is something that you can get multiple use out of. And I wrote a piece recently that someone was talking about why Elon Musk is transforming Twitter into X, and it's because he's trying to replicate WeChat. He's trying to take Twitter from something which is just like a singular use service to a platform that's able to do multiple things. In the hardware world, that's what Steve Jobs did with a phone. He took a phone and then turned it into a platform for music and entertainment and interaction. And so what we did from the outset, rather than doing it back to front like they did, is create back-end technology where we could either acquire a business and sit it on top of that technology to run it, or build products very quickly using shared components. So you've got like a library of code and a library of front end and back end components and mechanisms, and you can just assemble them in different combinations to create different products. So you can go to market very quickly once you've invested up front. So a good example of that, again, was Pearl Diver I was speaking about before. The concept for that came in early this year in March, where we got access to a new data stream. The product was in market 45 years after that and generated over $1 million worth annual recurring days from that, which goes to show the value of having those sort of platforms.
Well, that's very interesting, because I think many people would understand now what's been going on with the Twitter X thing. So companies within the Blackpearl Group can access select elements or entire components of the Pearl engine at near zero marginal cost, which can reduce cost in years of time in R&D. Look, can you give us some examples of this, or even an example?
Yeah, well, I give you two. I actually I'll go on to the one I said earlier about Pearl Diver second. So I'll go back to front. So last year we acquired a company called New Odds, and so they had a lot of operating costs. So we could purchase that company and then actually put that on our platform, run it more effectively and more cost efficiently with a lot less staff, and put more features in there, that company as standalone wouldn't be able to do, to help it compete better in the market and retain its dominant market position at lower cost. And then the other side of that, which talking about Pearl Diver before, is that, because we had that core technology, that platform which you could lift components from, when we actually got a commercial arrangement to get this new data stream, we could literally create a product and put it in market in 45 days that would normally take a business over a year and millions of dollars. And we're able to turn that around. So the benefit of, again, is once you've done that upfront investment, is be able to more affordably bring things to market and service existing products in the market.
And I find it very interesting you're specializing in small to medium-sized businesses, because there is a real need for many people to be in that marketplace. They can't be otherwise. So the data cycle at the heart of the Pearl engine, can you speak a little bit about that? What does that mean in English?
In English? Now you've made that hard on me. Well, I could have brought it to engineers, and that would have made it really difficult. So data, okay, so think of data like, we were talking about it like being oil before, or being the fuel of what technology is at the moment. So if you don't have an engine or something to put that fuel in, then to the average person, fuel isn't actually very useful. So the whole thing about the engine is taking something which is sort of a crude material or crude data, processing it so that it's actually consumable. Because obviously, if you put oil straight out of the ground into your car engine, it's going to blow up. So we process it. And then what we do is we create services which can consume that fuel. So we create the engine, that's the technology, the product you use. And then by using that technology, you create more data, more inputs, and that goes back into the top of the cycle, hence it being self-perpetuating. So it's really just about creating products that use actual hard facts. Data, look, people make decisions based on data every day. you think about, you jump in the car and you didn't have a GPS and you were going to drive somewhere, you would look, if that street's blocked and the traffic's bad, you'd go a different way. Use data to make decisions all the time. We're just using cloud data to help businesses make their decisions.
Oh, you've actually explained that very well, which is essentially using facts rather than reckons. So is there a place for investors on this platform?
It's called the NZX. So if you want to invest, if you want to invest into the company, we went public last year. I think we're one of only 2 companies that went public last year, and I'm not too sure if any have gone this year as well. So if people want to invest in the company, then they can.
Yeah.
Hey?
They can go on the NZX and they can invest in the business. I said it's been a lean year, I think, for a lot of businesses. And
it has. I mean, it's been globally tough and definitely very tough year for a lot of companies. We've been very fortunate. We've experienced tremendous growth this year, just off the charts. But even with all that, if we're growing at such a rapid rate, but if you were not doing that, man, it must be tough for other companies at the moment. Which is, I guess, why tools like what we've got seem to be selling so well at the moment, because they're built very affordably for people that are trying to do more with less.
That's right. Now, because how long has this been going? How long has the Blackpearl Group been in operation?
We've been going 10 years.
What, 20 years?
10
years. Actually, that's a long time. 10.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so the productivity.
You go.
Does it feel like it's longer? Some days it must feel like it's longer.
Some days
other days
feels brand new. Some days it feels brand new. Like, we've had very definitive cycles. We had the cycle when you've got no money and you're scrapping around at the start, and every penny is hard fought for. And then we sort of went through an awkward adolescent stage. And then actually, since listing on NZX, I feel like that's almost a brand new company. And we've been able to just do so many exciting things we've always wanted to do. So maybe we've just become adults at last. We're into their adult years.
Can you explain what Blackpearl Diver is, just how it works? Because this is one of your suite of productivity and digital marketing application products. So here I am, a customer, or wanting to be a customer. So explain to me what you can do.
So if you think about the average business website, whether you're business to business or business to consumer, you pay a huge amount of money to try and get people to that website, or you spend a lot of money in all the digital organic stuff to get people along. And yet, if you're doing an amazing job, 2% of those people, you'll know who they are because they'll fill a form out. So essentially, why that's bad is because that's not great math to start with. But how did you get everyone there? You had to pay money to Google, to Meta and Facebook, to Apple, to Amazon, right? All these big corporations. And guess what? They know who's on your website. In fact, pretty much everyone seems to know who's on your website other than you. So what we've done is we've got that access to that data, and we give it back to businesses. So businesses can actually see people that are turning up to their website that haven't even filled forms out. We can show you the first name, last name, business information, job titles, contact information, and that radically decreases the amount of money that you have to spend to acquire customers, and the marketing money you do spend can be very specific on the people that you want to convert. So the pennies on the dollar, you can sell to a lot more people than you could conventionally.
Well, that's explained it very well too. I can see real opportunities for people. So the Blackpearl Mail and New Old Stamp. I don't know how you think these names are. Do you have a committee to work out the names, or do you just do it yourself?
I acquired the New Old Stamp name. I acquired that name. No one has ever said it correctly. I've got wise old stamp, old new stamp, stamp something old, every conceivable view. So we got that name.
Okay, so they're both self-built SaaS solutions. So what do they do that's different from what we've just been hearing about?
So Blackpearl Mail was the company, the product we first built, and what that did is transform companies' daily email, like what we've been exchanging before this, into a demand generation tool. So companies can utilize that vacant little real estate underneath the email signature to be able to showcase services or things of interest, and it's all controlled centrally, so the marketing team can do all the magic there. And then your old stamp's actually similar but different. It's just a basic email signature solution, but they're one of the premier sort of affordable signature solutions in the world. We bought them out in November last year.
Okay. So would you say, when we're talking about some of the work with Blackpearl, that this technology is best focused or best catering to startups, or is it startup businesses or businesses just simply looking to grow any sort of small to medium business?
You're selling something, this product will work online, this product will work great for you. So that we're actually Pearl Diver, we only sell into the US market, so it's totally targeted at that. So that it also for businesses that are focused on selling into the US market, but 99% of the businesses are definitely going to be US, and they are all that in every conceivable industry you can think of. But they start as solopreneurs, and they typically, once you're up to sort of maybe 250 employees, that's where we stop acquiring at such a high rate as we are with those smaller businesses, because there's a lot of complexity with that sale. I think I've been left to my own devices. I think here I'll ask my own questions.
Yeah.
No, you're back.
Technical stuff is more to do with the connection. We don't have ultra fast broadband here in rural beachlands. But anyway, look, this is great. So how do people get in touch, and how do they say, I want to see what you can do for my business?
You just hit us up at any of the websites that we've got, but the main company one is blackpearl.com. That links to all the products underneath. And of course, if you want to find out about more about Blackpearl and actually owning a bit of the company, then the NZX is the place for that. And you can invest via all your usual brokers and Sharesies and all those sorts of things.